happened here?
Nothing to worry about, my good man. What happens on the Hindenburg stays on the Hindenburg.
Are you saying the law doesn't apply here?
We're too high up, my good man. The law has always preferred to look down.
You never had problems with the police?
Oh, many a one, my good man. In fact, what I'm cleaning up is today's first problem.
How can you work in a place like this?
You don't want to know where I worked before this, my good man.
Bravo. I'm sorry. If it wasn't for my habit of checking all possible exits when I walk into the lion's den, I'd be a dead man. You should be rotting in jail.
That's exactly what I've been doing for the last 19 and a half years. You'll be surprised what a little good behavior can do for a person. You're not gonna ask me for my last words this time? I'm a lot closer to death than when I last saw you. As are you.
Not close enough.
Hmm? Close enough for who?
Are you sure we need to choose?
Look, I didn't ask you here to find out who's got the snappiest comebacks. I want to hire you.
What?
I require your services as a detective.
I don't know what your game is, but if your plan was to surprise me, you've succeeded.
Look, Ness. My granddaughter Sophia has been kidnapped. When what happened to my son, Vittorio, I put her in a boarding school. She was entered under a false surname, Colombo. Nobody knows who she is.
Nobody?
Only Milton, the man who brought you here. I trust him completely. 2 days ago, a guy turned up at the boarding school. He introduced himself as Guido Colombo, the girl's uncle, and her new legal guardian. He said her parents had just died in a tragic automobile accident. He produced all the relevant papers, driver's license, the custody document supposedly made out by the father, the death certificates. He explained away the fact that the girl didn't know him by saying he moved to Seattle before she was born.
Any clues?
Nah. Well, Sophia was wearing a blue dress with flowers that I personally ordered for her from Italy. She was also wearing white ballet shoes with daisies embroidered on them. As for the guy, the school principal said he was tall and slim, in his 50s. No particular accent. Black hair, no beard, no glasses. Well dressed. Could be anyone. But I know he was hired by one of my old associates. Someone wants to finish me once and for all. Maybe they want control of what's left of my organization. Maybe they hate my guts.
And I thought I was the only one who still hated you after 20 years. What else have you got?
I got this. And I got you.
You don't have me. My place is at my diner. And your girl's not there.
Huh. So where should I be looking?
I'm not a cop anymore. Call the station.
The station? Are you serious? The cops are rotten to the core. I should know. I helped make them that way.
So why me?
20 years ago, I pushed you to the edge. I bought your friends and killed the ones who couldn't be bought. I got you so obsessed with me that your wife ended up leaving you. When you had nothing left, you walked into my house, shot my bodyguards, and pointed a gun at me. You could have killed me. But you chose to take it out on this piano. You're the only honest man I know.
I'll do it. Not for you. For her.
I knew I got the right guy.
But I want something in return.
As you can see, I'm not short of money. Ask. I won't haggle.
You give your entire fortune to the Santa Esperanza Hospice.
That won't be difficult. I've been donating to them for decades. And I don't need the money anymore. I don't give a damn what happens to me, Ness. You just save Sophia. And you can start by investigating
Carlo Boccherini.
How did you know?
Biggest forger in Santa Esperanza. Wouldn't surprise me if Sophia's so-called uncle's papers were made by him. Besides, he's been cursing your name ever since we put you in jail.
Hey, I treated him like a son.
After you killed his parents.
They were selling booze without my permission. Wait, you know where to find them?
I have a good contact at the station. A girl. Rookie. Straight arrow. Reliable.
A girl? You saying you trust her?
You are such a chauvinist. Do you trust me?
Deal? That's a spirit. Keep Milton informed at all times, huh? You hear me?
I know you from somewhere.
You're not gonna ask me for my last words?
You should be running. I'm never going to help you. Why me?
I'm not asking you to help me.
I'm not a cop anymore. I'll do it. Not for you. for her. This town has become a jungle. Not even the rats are safe. Those who swore to protect us fight to steal the last scraps of dignity we have left. And those who should judge them prefer to squabble over their prey. But it wasn't always like this. The Santa Esperanza I was born in was a clean town. A place where it meant something to be a cop. But now he's back, and he's dragged me in. I'm gonna need help. Ness.
Eliott, I found Carlo Boccarini.
I knew you would, Alice.
Write this down. 31 Wicker Avenue in Lakeview.
Thanks. Nice work.
Eliott, what do you want with him? He's got a hell of a file.
Right now, it's better you don't know, Alice.
What, are you protecting me?
I promised your father that I would.
I'm a cop, not a little girl.
Alice, I don't have much time. I'll let you know how it goes. Thanks. Tomorrow's going to be a long, long day. "31 Wicker Avenue. This is it."
You sure?
I'm sure.
At last. That stench of stale grease about you reminds me too much of my old job.
You worked as a waiter?
I was a chef. And not in any old kitchen. At the maximum security penitentiary on Gore Island. Can't think of a better way to do time. And how do you think I met Alphonse? Playing golf?
Alphonse?
On the subject of cooking, I know your blueberry pie had an extra something. I still don't know what.
Alphonse.
So what now? You got a plan?
Take a look around, in case there's a rear exit. I'll take the main door.
My pleasure.
The fact that a criminal like him can hang up his shingle in broad daylight says a lot about Santa Esperanza. Interesting taste. Been centuries since a gardener visited this house. Maybe Boccarini's business isn't going too well. The bell doesn't work. I guess Boccarini doesn't get many visitors. Boccarini? Carlo Boccarini?
Nothing of interest out back. Sorry. You better come see this, Mr. Ness.
What is it?
I don't know how to describe it. Is that our man?
Boccarini.
My God.
We have to find out who did this, and why. Let's go.
You're the detective, Mr. Ness. Besides, Alphonse will want to see this. I'll be right back.
All right. I have to establish how Boccarini died. Maybe the body parts can shed some light on the motive. The blood comes from the other side of the corridor and ends next to the body. He was attacked in the other room and dragged to the hall. The evidence suggests that the events began in the lounge. How did Boccarini encounter his murderer? Did it break during the struggle, or was it already broken? What kind of person takes off a wristwatch without unfastening it? Or fastens the strap again after taking it off? Blood. Blood everywhere. Whatever crushed the table must have been really heavy. Or maybe it was thrown extremely hard. dint, as if someone had tried to hammer in a gigantic bolt, around 4 inches in diameter. Fingernails scratched the wood. Blood ran like water. This was opened recently. There's something under there. How'd it wind up under there? Not one round fired. It must have happened fast. Glass on the floor indicates the window was broken from outside. Smells of whiskey. What is it with Italians and olives? They lap those things up like caviar. Like a true bachelor, he should have put these into soak. Hours of scraping to get them clean. Although at this stage, I don't think Boccarini's too worried about that. Four glasses. 2 of water, 2 of wine. I've always been a whiskey man, but I know a good wine when I see one. Leftover lasagna, and it looks good. Why is it that 2 out of 3 Italian gangsters are great cooks? I'll never understand what the deal is with them and cooking. The plates and the glasses leave no room for doubt. Boccarini had company for dinner. One knife's missing, the biggest one. Shut from the inside. Takes a strong man to tear that out. Or several. Blood and some kind of sticky liquid. Oh shit. I should have stayed in my diner. These teeth from the body? Well, at least I know why his teeth were pulled out, more or less. What is that? Looks like a ritual. What was Boccherini mixed up in? This car looks too classy for a forger like Boccherini. Are there sufficient reasons to believe that when the murderer attacked Boccherini, there was someone else in the house? The first possibility to be ruled out is that the car belonged to Boccherini. Vermont plates. Someone drove a long way. Let's take a look in the glove compartment. Bingo. A man's cigarette case. OB. One of the Boccherini clan? Jammed shut from the inside. Maybe between the two of us when Milton gets back. If I'm not mistaken, This door opens onto the same room as the locked door in the kitchen. Holy Christ, what the hell are we up against? His eyes were pulled clean out of their sockets. Whoever did this, it wasn't their first time. And if they committed any other murders like this, it's likely that the police found some of the bodies. I must remember to ask Alice. His teeth were all pulled out before he was killed. The buildup of blood inside his mouth speaks for itself. This isn't a cut, it's a tear. His hands were ripped off. Who has that kind of strength? Once he got stuck in there, looks like the bottom of a glass. Pity he won't last till Christmas, because he'd almost passed for a tree. There's no doubt the murderer took his time. first possibility to be ruled out is that the car belonged to Boccherini. The first possibility to be ruled out is that the car belonged to Boccherini. The initials OB on a cigarette case. A car with Vermont plates. 1. It has Vermont plates. 2. It's too luxurious for a criminal of his standing. 3. The initials on the cigarette case don't match his name. The next possibility that needs to be ruled out is that the car was stolen. There should be evidence that there was someone else in the house. The next possibility that needs to be ruled out is that the car was stolen. There should be evidence that there was someone else in the house. Dirty plates, glasses, and silverware from a dinner for 2. The dirty dishes and glasses prove that Boccherini ate lasagna with one other person. Was Boccherini's guest still in the house when the murderer showed up? Was Boccherini's guest still in the house when the murderer showed up? The lamp, torn off its brackets and blocking the stairs. What looks like the bottom of a broken glass buried in Boccherini's back. A broken whiskey glass found in the dining room. Was Boccherini's guest still in the house when the murderer showed up? A door in the kitchen, locked from the inside. It opens onto the same room as the jammed door in the corridor. A teaspoon stained with blood and some kind of sticky liquid. A door in the kitchen, locked from the inside. It opens onto the same room as the jammed door in the corridor. A door in the kitchen, locked. It opens onto the same room as the jammed door in the corridor. Boccherini's teeth were all pulled out. Maybe the body parts can shed some light on the motive. What looks like the bottom of a broken glass buried in Boccherini's back. The murderer tore Boccherini's hands off. Boccherini's teeth were all pulled out. Hands ripped off, teeth torn out. I guess I'll have to rule out criminal intent or a personal angle. Boccherini's eyes still haven't shown up. What if I look for whatever was used to remove them? A teaspoon stained with blood and some kind of sticky liquid. The mixture of sticky liquid and blood can only mean one thing. The spoon was used to remove Boccherini's eyes. The mutilations and the disappearance of his eyes suggest 2 possible motives. Psychopathy or cultist fanaticism. Which is it? Some kind of symbol drawn in blood. What looks like the bottom of a broken glass buried in Boccherini's back. sick altar of human flesh. Although I don't know the origin of the symbol in the bathroom and the altar of flesh and teeth, I'd say the motive was some kind of occult religion. The big question is, who did it? How did Boccherini encounter his murderer? An open bottle of whiskey. A broken whiskey glass found in the dining room. Pieces of glass from the window in the hall found inside the house. The lamp, torn off its brackets and blocking the stairs. A pistol, fully loaded. I'd say Boccherini was drinking in the dining room when his assailant burst in through the window. Boccherini pulled his gun, but the murderer disarmed him before he could shoot. Where did the torture begin? A broken table, scratched and covered in blood. A blood-stained wristwatch with the glass broken and the strap fastened. Two pools of blood, one on either side of the dining room table. The bloodstains show that the murderer began to torture Boccherini on the dining table itself. That was where his hands were torn off. As a result, his wristwatch fell to the ground. How did the body reach its current position? The trail of blood from the dining room to the hall. What looks like the bottom of a broken glass buried in Boccherini's back. A broken whiskey glass found in the dining room. The lamp, torn off its brackets and blocking the stairs. Boccherini, already minus hands, was dragged into the hall, where the murderer used the brackets of the lamp to complete his macabre diorama. A door in the kitchen, locked from the inside. It opens onto the same room as the jammed door in the corridor. A broken whiskey glass found in the dining room. What looks like the bottom of a broken glass buried in Boccherini's back. It seems clear that Boccherini and his guest were drinking when the murderer took them by surprise. The real question is, what happened to the witness? Did they escape? Did the murderer take them? Or are they still in the house? A door in the corridor jammed shut. It opens onto the same room as a door in the kitchen, locked from the inside. One locked door could be a coincidence, but two locked doors which open onto the same room can't be. Either I'm completely wrong, or the witness is in that room. But I need Milton to open one of those doors.
Mr. Ness, can you open the door for me?
It was open. Why did you ring?
I thought I should use the doorbell so I wouldn't startle you.
When I came in, I pressed the doorbell and it didn't work.
Well, in light of the facts, I deduced that it was your finger that wasn't working. So, what can you tell me to restore my faith in you as a detective?
What is that?
Not a good start. It's a camera, so Alphonse can see all this.
All right. Follow me. Boccherini had company for dinner. Someone from Vermont with the initials OB. Someone whose social status was a lot higher, but who was on the same side of the law. He served lasagna, and after clearing away the dishes, they opened a bottle of whiskey in the dining room. That was when the murderer burst in on them, coming through the window which he broke with his own body weight. Boccherini, or maybe his guest, pulled a gun, but it was a waste of time. The murderer was so fast he was disarmed before he could fire. He focused his attention on Boccherini, totally ignoring the guest, and lifted him up into the air. He then threw him against the dining room table so hard that one of the glasses of whiskey was embedded in Boccherini's back. He span around, clawing at the table, and immediately afterwards the murderer ripped off his hands. I have no idea how he did it, but all the evidence suggests he just pulled. Blood sprayed everywhere. The wristwatch fell to the ground. He dragged him through the corridor into the hall. He tore down the lamp, hung him from the brackets, and stabbed steel rods through his body. He skewered him on the iron bars, possibly taken from the fence outside, and pulled out his teeth one by one. Finally, he scooped out his eyes with a teaspoon. Boccherini must have been dead when the murderer went to the bathroom with his hands in his teeth. There, he arranged them to make an altar, weaving the fingers together and placing the teeth inside. Next, he painted something on the wall in blood, a symbol which I don't recognize, but which could have some kind of ritualistic significance. When he'd finished his artwork, he left. I don't know what he did with the eyes.
You're telling me that someone did all this armed with a teaspoon?
More or less.
And you worked all this out on your own, just by looking?
More or less.
I don't know which of the two of you scares me more. Wait a second. What about the guest?
Right. Come with me. Nothing.
Turns out Mr. Untouchable isn't infallible. But you were close. Congratulations.
This must be Boccherini's office. Let's take a quick look around.
All yours.